shot. He picks up the nade, and he gets the full cap with the lead. Oh, he does get 3. What a clutch. And a 4. Power with 4 kills. It's Burn. He gets another kill with the sniper there on the left side. And another kill. That's 4 for Burn on the street. Looking for more. And another 5 for Burn. He's gone insane at the second flag.
What is up, everyone? It is Corey, Jagon, Marco here with another episode of the DODCAST. This is now Season 4, episode... Son of a bitch, I forgot which episode it was. I think it's episode 8. I'm going to double check, though, right quick, because I got this wrong once, and then everybody was real upset about it. It's episode 7. Okay, episode 7, Season 4. Going on and on and on. I just tried to do a little intro thing there. I'm not sure if it worked or not. We're going to find out when all is said and done, and I check this. If it didn't work, I'm going to just leave it, because I'm not about to record this whole thing just to find out that the intro didn't show up and then re-record it again. These things are very, very long. As you all can tell, I often talk for hours at a time. So, this week, the recap will be of RR2 Test Day 9, which, I mean, it's continuing to be updated as time goes on. I do believe a lot of the sticky complaints have been addressed, because I had the same complaints after we played it in the match. There were certainly some areas that you could get stuck on. It could be a little bit problematic for everybody, so that has been fixed from what I have seen. The underpass one, the Allied Loft. I don't know if any of you other snipers noticed that if you tried to, like, crouch, hop, peek in the lower loft on Allies, you'd get stuck. Like you were getting pushed down from above, which wasn't the case in the original RR2, so that one got addressed as well. And a couple other ones, whatever the other ones were. There was only a few left, so basically we almost have, like, a perfect RR2 now. Pretty sweet. And I even cleaned up the detail textures a little bit, since there was just a few that were missing from the OG file. So that's all good shit. Yeah, we're going to do the recap for RR2. We're going to do predictions for Silver Week 8, which is CHEMILLE, if I recall correctly. Silver is CHEMILLE, yes. And then getting into some first-round playoff predictions in Gold. There is one Gold match on RR2 that hasn't been played yet, which is unfortunate. It's Over versus CHEMILLE. There's only a couple days left before the playoffs start, so I don't know if they're planning on playing it, or if they're just going to, like, you know, leave it to have, like, a fun match-type game later on. I think the standings are pretty much set in stone now anyways, so, like, it's not like if one of them had won or one of them had lost, whatever, it would have affected anything, so... but it is unfortunate for the stats and everything like that. So I guess we'll see if they play before Sunday. Maybe they're going to play on Sunday. But as far as the standings go and everything, that's all taken care of. Let's just get right into recapping this shit. Let's see here. So, right off the bat, we'll start off with the Spicy Butthole versus NOA game. I actually did get to cast a little bit of this. They were playing right before the NSA Icy Hot game. And I was trying to do the 3H versus No-Go game, but the 3H HLTV is broken. So hopefully that'll be fixed, because it'd be nice to be able to cast 3H games when they're playing in the 3H server. I'm not sure what the problem was. I'm not sure if maybe an HLTV needs to be swapped in there or what, but hopefully that can be taken care of. But I did get to cast some of this game. As you can see, 1273-3, Spicy Butthole over NOA. I did like some of what I saw out of NOA here, though. Like, you could see them actually, like, kind of like making some adjustments and trying to figure out ways to stop getting capped on. As I mentioned during that cast, like, you can see some real mechanical prowess out of a few of these guys, like Meep. Meep and Eclipse were the main ones I saw. iJab I saw a little bit of as well. Like, they're clearly gamers. Like, once they get to the point in DOD where the instincts start to kick in and they understand, like, the minutia of the game a little bit more, these guys will be able to be good at the game. Like, I can assure you of that. Just looking at their aim, their reaction time, their dexterity, everything like that. Oh, wait a second. There is another game that hasn't been played yet, as I was just told by my producer, Jane. Insomnia versus Shut Up We're Trying, it would appear, has not been played yet. Son of a gun. Yeah. Let me double check that right quick. Railroad 2 test day. Yeah, no Insomniac versus Shut Up We're Trying. That's unfortunate too. That'll be a good game. So I'd like to know when that game ends up is going to be played. If no one's casting it, I'll take that one for sure. So there are a couple matches that we're not going to have in this recap. That is unfortunate. I usually try to wait to the end of the week to make sure everybody can play, but, you know, schedules don't always align for that. But, yeah, so NOA, like, just, again, getting the hours, continuing to get experience in hours. As you can see here in the screenshots, looking at this kid, there's a lot of kills here. Die Life at 43, 36 on Stamp, 33 on Stealth, 30 on Laura, 30 on Dillard, 22 on Twist and the Train. On the NOA side on Axis, iJab with 17, Eclipse with 17, Meep with 16, Blue Cactar 15, 12 on Mouse, none on Dina or Dinah, not sure what the pronunciation is. And then in the Axis side for Spicy Butthole, wow, 46 on Dillard, 36 on Matt, 32 on Laura, 30 on Stealth, 24 on Twist, 18 on Stamp, and on the other side, Meep with a nice half there, 28 kills on the Garand. As I said, like, you watch the way, I think somebody was talking, maybe it was Nicholson in the chat, about how he plays CS2 and is a good CS player. So, I mean, you can see that when you watch these guys. Like, it's not a lack of in-game ability. It's just that they're so new to this game still. Like, even however many weeks into the season, compared to what everybody else that plays DoD has played hours-wise over the years, like, this is nothing. They're basically, like, a day old relative to everyone else being in the middle age when it comes to DoD experience level. So they're still very early on, and I know I say it every week, but I do hope they'll keep playing, because I would really like to see that, you know, a really fresh team come in and progress. I always make the CIS analogy, but obviously they came from DoD Source and were good DoD Source players. It's just another version of DoD, so it was a little bit easier and quicker for them to make that transition, but coming in fresh from Rust, which is not related to DoD in any way, shape, or form, to even be able to get some of these kill totals is pretty impressive. Like, I remember the first times I was playing DoD, it was not good. And certainly I wasn't thrown into a league with a bunch of way more experienced players than me immediately. So it's a tough ask, but, you know, I'm glad to see them continuing to do it and getting better. iJab had 18, Eclipse had 15, 17 on Blue Cactar, 15 on Mouse, 1 on Dinah, however it is pronounced. And yeah, as I said, 28 on Meep. Really, really nice half with the Garand there. Those mechanics are strong. I mean, if you want to go with the CIS analogy again, that's like the Riley Staffer there. And Eclipse is like the Hong Kong Mafia. You know, you could take that all the way to the bank on carrying that analogy over. But 1273 for Spicy over 3 for NOA. Spicy continuing to make push towards that playoff berth. Going to be very interesting to see how everything plays out in Silver, standings-wise. Man, I really wish I could have seen this game here. But let's move on to 3H versus No-Go. 3H got the W here, 183 to 91. This is the game that I was trying to cast to begin with, but obviously did not. So, Allied side, No-Go was able to get the W there, 77 to 41, 2-kill deficit for 3H after that half. So it's very, very close half, less than a cap, obviously, overall. For 3H, 34 on Austin. I know Austin said he felt like he was having some lag issues earlier in the season, and he thinks he's got them fixed. So, and as we'll see in this game, he put up a nice kill total after that. So I expect to see more. I mean, Austin has played really well all season. Like, if he was lagging around and he felt like not good, it didn't show in his performance. But 34 for him, 29 for CK, 26 for Johnny Warchild, 25 for the Bear, 25 for Defrag, 22 for Piff. And then on the other side for No-Go on Allies, he had 30 on Spoon with that bar. Obviously, such a beast as a heavy. 29 on Dedro. I'm not sure if Dedro was heavying or sniping or what, but Dedro has been putting up good numbers the last few weeks for sure. 28 on Saf, 27 on Apple, 24 on Matthew, 25 on J-Rod. 36-point lead at the half, and then coming out in the second half, 3H ends up winning 142 to 14. I mean, it gets tough if you don't get mid first as Axis. Like, you're just on the back foot. It can be really tough to break through that without making like some risky plays, which we saw in the NSA Icy Hot game. Actually, PDX pulling the chestnuts out of the fire for the boys, calling for a mid-cap, and a very, very, like, you had to make that decision right then. Wait another second, there's nades coming over. Or don't do it and maybe you get capped on. So it's one of those things where when your back's against the wall on a map like this, it can be tough to know in that moment what the best decision is. Hindsight's always 20/20. I didn't watch this game, so I don't know what actually happened, but just speculating. So on the side of 3H, 39 on Piff with the bar, dropping some fucking bombs. Defrag with 24 on the bar, barring there too. Nice to see Defrag getting to play some other classes besides having a third rifle all the time. Third rifling is not always fun. 35 on CK, 35 on Austin for that top frag with 69 overall. Very nice, Austin. 28 on the Bear. I said 35 on CK and 22 on Warchild. The kill differential was a little bit more in favor of 3H this half, but for the no-go side of things, Matthew with 31, 28 on Greg, 26 on J-Rod, 21 on Apple, 18 on Saf, and 15 on Dedro. A big W, of course, for 3H, getting back on the winning track after that heartbreaking loss that they had to Insomnia on Anzio. If you haven't watched that already, watch it. And if you don't want to watch a fucking 40 minutes long cast of the whole game, I know Caleb made a condensed version of the last 8 minutes or whatever it is. I forget, 7 minutes, 43 seconds, something like that. That's on the 1911 YouTube, which was a nice little video to kind of just show how things unfolded for that loss in the end for 3H. Just really, really well played by Insomnia. Yeah, and it's from the Insomniac point of view in that movie. Like, it's all the demos of the Insomniac players and how they kind of played out that last 8 minutes to end up with an absolutely obscene comeback. So yeah, 183 to 91, 3H over no-go. Big win for 3H to get back on track. We'll see where no-go ends up. They're in that kind of like big lump of teams in the middle of the pack right now in silver. Some of them will end up in the upper silver bracket, and some of them will end up in the lower half. We'll see who ends up in each of those spots. And then the last silver game to recap, man, this one I heard was just as fucking crazy as the 3H Insomnia Anzio game. I don't know if there's a demo out there of it. I don't know if anyone casted it. I would love to get to see this game. I haven't been able to find it yet, but if anyone out there has the HLTVs of this game or something that I can watch, as you can see, Romario, 128 over Washed Up, 126. A 2-point win. From what I understand, it was another late cap out. Like, the last however many seconds, since I didn't cast the game, I can't say for sure. But, man. So many crazy games in silver this season. There's always crazy games in silver. There's just been some exceptionally crazy games this time. Very, very crazy. So, let's see here. That is, on the Axis side, we have 89 to 78 for Romario. Okay, the kills, Washed Up actually had significantly more kills. And I've seen this with Romario a couple times where they've been out-fragged by a pretty good amount and still won the half, which just shows how their teamwork is the real strong point. Like, they obviously have a lot of skill on this team, but they don't have to go out there and just have, like, 4 people dropping 35s or, like, get hard carried by a couple people. They are a team to the core. They are a fist, but with a 6th finger. Yeah, so, looking at the kill totals here on the Romario side, you got 33 on Vanaki with the car, 32 on Rafinha, so very strong performances out of their 2 cars and, usual top fraggers there. 21 on LZL with the Stas, 21 on Mand on the Sniper, 16 on Burn, obviously going Train, because Burn is Train. He is the Train. And then Matt with 13 on the STG, and on the other side, of course, Justin Simpson, Paintball, 38 kills on the Garand. He's just been dropping bombs all season. He always dropped bombs. Hopper with 30. I'm not sure whether he was heavying or rifling. If I'm looking at the lineup, I'm going to guess he was heavying. But I could be wrong. 27 on Bromley, 25 on ProStar, 25 on War Within, and 21 on Casino, who I'm guessing was the other Train player. Playing, I believe, probably both halves, but maybe they sent a heavy over there on Axis. You never know. Okay, and then wow, 48 to 39, Washed Up wins their Axis half. So I'm not sure which half was which. I don't see any like GGs or good halves in the chat. Wow, man, what a crazy game. So on the Romario side, 35 for LZL, coming back with a straw. He is so good with the Garand, man. 30 on Rafinha, 26 on Vanaki, so a strong performance there from the rifle corps of Romario. Burn with the bar with 11, Man with 16, and 13 on Matt. The frag totals were a little bit closer overall here. Only 6 was the difference. And then on the washed up side, again, PB 34, 72 kills overall. I think he's averaging like 70 kills a game right now, if I recall correctly from the stats. I can take a look at that in a minute. 28 on War Within, 25 on Bromley, 24 on ProStar. Cody looking vintage Pro Star this season. All it was going to take was some reps for him to get back to being the god heavy that he's always been. 16 on Hopper and 10 on Casino, which I assume Cass was in train there for both halves. Guillermo's always been a good train player. Very fucking close game here. Romario ends up pulling it out 128 to 126. Big win for them, too. I mean, all these teams have been so close together all season. You have no clue where the seedings are going to end up. 3H, Insomnia. Now, I mean, I'll have to check, but I think Romario might be, like, right behind them. I'm not positive on that. I'll just fucking look right now. Let's see. Where's the standings? Silver, Insomnia. Then Romario. Yep, 4 wins. 4 wins for Spicy. 4 wins for 3H. So 5 wins for Insomnia. 4 wins for Romario. 4 wins for Spicy. 4 wins for 3H. And mind you, that Romario would have the tiebreaker on Insomnia. They did beat them head-to-head, so that is a story to keep an eye on for a potential tiebreaker when all is said and done for those top seeds. We shall see. Still 2 games left to play in Silver. I believe that does it for the recap. Yeah, because we're missing the Shut Up We're Trying Insomnia game. This right here, like Shut Up We're Trying is a team that can absolutely beat anybody. Insomnia needs to be on their P's and Q's this week because they lose that game to Shut Up We're Trying and they're not in the 1 seed anymore. Romario is. So very, very interesting and important game in the Silver Division still to be played on Railroad 2. We'll see when that one gets played. Hopefully I'll get to cast it. I've really wanted to cast a Shut Up We're Trying game all season and I haven't gotten to. It just hasn't worked out timing-wise. I think that lineup could be a deep playoff run kind of lineup when you look at the pieces that they have there and what they're all capable of, not just skill-wise, but like their experience and their play styles. It's a nice meshy lineup that I think will play well together. So, moving on over to the Gold Division recap. We only got 2 games to go over here. I'll start off with the Thunder Clinic game. Thank you to Alapex for casting this game. It was awesome to have a cast of our game. Obviously, it doesn't happen that often. I think we've maybe had like 3 or 4 games casted of ours total. Maybe like 4 or 5. I don't know. Don't quote me on the number, but it's not been many, so it was really cool to have Alapex on that game. But taking a look at the screenshots, this is first half, so 177 to 10 on the Allied side here for us. On our side, Dorito had another big game. Toxinator, 35 just behind him. 34 on Jules with the bar. 30 on me with the sniper. 26 on Ryan with the bar. And 19 on Spec Ops in train with the Garand. Busting back the train play that he was once known for. If you've ever watched Spec Ops online and on LAN, you know what I'm talking about. And then on the clinic side, 28 for Suave. 28 for Carpenter, 19 for Sam, 16 for Allen, 15 Tom, 12 for Insom. I can tell you that Suave and Carpenter were killing me a lot. Carp definitely got movie clips in this game. There's numerous times that he was filling up the death notice, without a doubt. And then in the second half, 102 to 13 on our Axis side. Once again, Dorito with 36 top frags, 72 for him overall. 35 on Ryan with the Stas, 32 on Tox with the car, 30 on me sniping, 21 on Jules STG, and 21 on Spec Ops with the UNT. And then on the clinic side, 29 on Insom, 25 on Sam, 23 on Tom, 20 on Carp, 18 on Allen, 18 on Suave. I love this team. They're all good guys. We did actually play them in CS2 after. I didn't play. We had 6 people. It was easier for me to just watch instead and get everyone else in there to play. I think I did actually record from like the POV of the people that were streaming in Discord that game. I think we won like 13-10 or something, 13-11. I forget what the exact score was, but that's another close game. Those guys are good at CS2 as well. If I was in there, we'd probably lose. So I made the right choice. That was an administrative choice on my behalf to bench myself. That way we didn't lose at CS2. So good game to Clinic. It's always enjoyable to play against these guys. They're all good players. They play the game the right way, you know, like just a good group of guys and a good team. And a team that people need to watch out for come playoff time. Because if they decide to start scrimming, especially just for the playoffs, like this is a team that has been playing together a long, long time. And all they need is to like be sharp. If they're sharp, then they can upset. I mean, they beat us. I need not remind myself, certainly. They beat us on Anzio, which was a map that we felt pretty unstoppable on for a very long time. So, yeah, we'll see what goes on with Clinic come playoff times. Good games to them. Always a pleasure. And hopefully we'll run into each other on both the battlefields again at some point. Man, I know I not playing in that game, but just watching it from everyone else's point of view, Suave was fragging hard. As was Allen, I believe, as well. I don't have screenshots or had to check them, but yeah, those guys put up a fucking serious bunch of frags against us on Anubis. So, moving on to what was the gold match of the week. Obviously, we don't have the Over versus Chill Pill game to go over, but this game I did cast. It was a big one. The standings were already decided, but this is the 1 and the 2 seed playing against each other. This is a preview of the finals, realistically, and a map that you could very well see them play in a best-of-3 in the finals. NSA versus Icy Hot. NSA ends up getting the win, 139-114, and this is definitely the closest anyone came to beating NSA this season by a long shot. Prior to this, well, there was the Rail Yard game in week 1, but I believe NSA had like a ringer or two playing. And I don't mean like a backup playing, like definitely was at least one ringer. And that was previously the closest game. Actually, I think, yeah, this ended up closer than that too, 25 points. Icyot came out with a really good game plan. They executed it. They all played really well. Vertex played really well. Really well. Let's just look at the actual screenshots to get into that. So, 92-45 for NSA on their allied side. You know, that 47 points, that's a close half. Both teams still had to feel like it was up for grabs. Only 2 kills separating them. On the NSA side, PDX, of course, with 27, 25 on Taylor, 24 on Leo, 24 on Nick, 23 on Debo, 20 on Milo. On the Icyot side, 37 on Vertex. He came out flying. I believe in his first life, he started off like 6 or 7 and 1. Had a bunch of kills in mid. Even there was basically 5 out of 6 were down at 1.2, and he was in ticket. It was like 6 against 1. He was able to get a multi-kill out of it to at least thin out the numbers and stall them before they would be then fanning out to go for the full cap. So that was a big play for Casey there. He was out of his mind in this game. 30 on Bees, of course, that Unter of Pain is oh so painful when it's shooting your face off. 22 on William Sick Blackwell. He had quite a few nice multi-kills in that game as well, especially on Axis side. Justin with 19, Hildy with 22, Tony and Train with 11. I forget who was going Train against Tony. Who the fuck went Train against him? I think Milo on Axis, and I think PDX technically on Allies. But PDX, like, I mean, he floats all over. He's very good at understanding where he's needed on the map. Like, especially with a route like Train, where you generally are sort of an anchor position, supposed to fluctuate between the two. You know, you don't just stare at Train and go Train and that's it. And as always, he came up big when they needed them most. And then the second half, so it was 69-47 in favor of Icy Hot. We do have somebody missing from this screenshot. It looks like it is Justin. So I'm not sure what his score. I mean, I know he had a lot of movie clips on Allied side. I can tell you that. I am pretty sure he ended up with right around 30 kills. But there was quite a few times where he killed like 4+ people, pushing up apartments with a bar, or picking up cars, sniper rifles, everything. He had a very good half there with the bar. But for NSA, 29 on Nick, of course. Slick Nick Patton. I mean, You can set your clock to this guy's performances as you can with his fellow top fragger PDX. 29 kills on him as well. 22 on Taylor, 20 on Debo, 16 apiece for Milo and Leo. And on the Icy Yacht side, another 37 for Vertex. You know, he got the honorable mention MVP because he had 74 kills. He top fragged this game by quite a bit. Mitch, 34 as well, 64. I think he's second top fragged. You know, I mean, they're just both such good players. 19 on Ben, 23 on Sick, 15 on Tony, and as I said, I believe Justin was like between 25 and 30. They won this half by 22. They had NSA actually like, I believe Icy Hot for a little bit of time there towards the end, the last like 2-3 minutes had the Axis first, and were fighting for the Axis second. I know in particular there was one portion where Taylor was in blue room and like PDX was kind of in underpass and platform. PDX hit a clutch shot on the flag. He actually did that a few times with the car. Taylor took a really, really good push up blue room to cut off a spawn wave, get the first flag, alleviate some pressure, force some resources to be reallocated back that way so that it couldn't get out of control. Just really smart play by both of them. That push by Taylor might not seem like much to the untrained eye, but that actually really paid off big time. And it's a tough decision to make because if you leave, if you go push blue room, say, and it comes down to like, oh well, you know, if you were still there, then you would have killed a guy who ended up capping out. Like it's a tough choice to make, and a lot of people get bogged down in like, I need to stay alive and sit here, and sometimes that's not the best move. You know, and Taylor used measured aggression to go, because if you're pushing for a cap out, you're not thinking like, well, they're going to come to our first flag. Like, no, you're thinking they're going to be sitting in blue room, sitting outside blue room, sitting in underpass, waiting for us to aggress and trying to take advantage of that. But Taylor found a seam, was able to get a couple of frags at the one, cause a little bit of chaos, and that ended up working out. Then PDX hits the clutch shot on the one guy that gets by, and then PDX ends up in mid. I think that they had some apartments control or full apartments control. They had eyes on their 2 still. PDX called for a mid cap. I mean, you could literally, I don't know that for sure. I wasn't in the Discord, but you could literally see him like looking at mid, looking around for anyone else to come cap mid. And it was, you know, that's the kind of ballsy decisions that you got to make in those situations. And PDX knows when to make them. I can assure you of that. If anybody's going to make that call the right way, it's going to be him, and it worked out. They got the mid cap, no longer had to worry about getting capped on. There was under a minute left at that point, maybe even like 30 seconds. It was very stressful, and that basically sealed the deal. NSA is able to pull it off in the end. Wow, even that half, it was, oh no, so there was a 4 kill differential, but Icy Out was missing one from the screenshot, so it was a little more than that. But yeah, really good game. I mean, this was the closest game NSA had, as I said. It was fun to watch. Like, this is DOD at a very high level, seeing the decision-making processes and everything, and the ridiculous shot. Like, you have to hit ridiculous shots on every one of these players to get kills. Like, you very rarely get, like, a freebie where a guy just, like, walks out and misses you and, like, you know, is reloading out in the middle of nowhere. It was all hitting ridiculous shots all across this map. Just really fun stuff to watch. You know, obviously it's still DOD, so there's still going to be times that people shoot directly through each other and stuff like that. But as far as high-level DOD goes, this is about as good as it gets right here. And hopefully everybody got a chance to check that one out, because I enjoy casting it. And as I said, I fully believe this will be a preview of the finals, and very possibly, my fucking face cam just dipped out on me. Very possibly a preview of one of the maps of the finals, to be honest. That wraps it up for the recap. That also wraps it up for the season, the regular season in gold, which NSA ends up undefeated, obviously, in the end. Icy Out with the 2nd seed, Thunder with the 3rd, Over with the 4th, then Clinic and Chill Pill. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that it's still, did Clinic beat Chill Pill or did Chill Pill beat Clinic? I assume, let's see, Chill Pill, oh my god, there's a fucking ad on my phone all of a sudden. Clinic, Chill Pill. Okay, so yeah, Clinic beat Chill Pill. So yeah, once the Chill Pill over game is done, it won't change any standings or anything like that. I wasn't sure for a second when I saw it, but as I was saying, it goes NSA, Icy Hot, Thunder over Clinic Chill Pill are the final standings. You can take a look at the stats here. You get the, I mean, I've said it on DODCAST and on Shoutcast and stuff, and I will reiterate it. As far as individual performances go, I think PDX this season had like the most dominant individual performance that we've seen in KTP at very least. He ends up the top fragger, the top KD, the top KTP rating. I don't remember what his exact, let me see if I can get, yeah, there we go. Average 32 kills a half, 32 and 23 was his average score with 17 flags per match. Just a crazy, crazy season for Brino. I've said it to him a couple times that this has been and as somebody who I can say pretty confidently, I've watched, played, experienced DoD more than anybody between the movie making and the playing and the demo watching. Like I've seen too much DoD, and in the last like decade at very least, I would say that this has been the most dominant individual performance from anybody in a league. He's just been out of his mind all season, you know. I don't know if it's because he's been getting to rifle, you know, have the car have 4 nades across the 2 halves and stuff. You know, if it's been an adjustment. I know he said something about his internet feeling better now too. But yeah, PDX deserves all the accolades for this season, leading that team to an undefeated season. I mean, that team is just so good, but PDX is really the tip of that arrowhead and has been as strong as it can possibly be for them. That NSA team is very scary. There's no team that should want to play them because you will likely lose. So, moving on to the predictions portion of this shit. Where are we here? KTP Season 4. There we go. I gotta switch this window over. That's not right. KTP Season 4. There we go. Okay. So, let's take a look. As I said earlier, there are a couple matches yet to be played in both divisions, but we'll see what goes on with that. Right off the bat, we've got 3H versus NOA. I know that 3H is going to have a little bit of a different look this week. Let me just get the exact lineup on it. You've got CK, The Bear, Jane, Big Bird, Piff, and Austin as the 6 for 3H this week, going up against NOA on CHEMILLE. CHEMILLE, always a fun map, in my opinion at least, but that's because I go factory most of the time. I know if you go underpass, it's not quite as fun, but... and then taking a look at the NOA side of things, lineup-wise, they have had a little bit of a revolving door on the 6th, but iJab, Blue Cactar, Meep, Eclipse, Mouse, and they've had Shuan play sometimes. They've had Dyna play. Yes, you will probably be playing Underpass, indeed. But yeah, so, I mean, again, like, we just get it out of the way. We know 3H probably wins this game, but just little by little, you know. NOA, there's, if they feel like it, there's Corey Price, I know, did like a tips video on CHEMILLE. There's plenty of casts on CHEMILLE out there, like if players want to take a look at them. It's a map that's a little bit more straightforward. You know, no double caps. It's the only map we've got with no double caps. I think that lends itself in this day and age with no MG and stuff like that. The map tends to play more fast-paced overall. Certainly, it's a little bit of a crouch walk fest in Underpass sometimes, but overall, it's a pretty fast-paced map because of no double caps, no extended caps. It's just 4 flags. You run over them, you get the flag, you run forward, you throw nades. If you're CK, you throw triple nades. Sometimes it's a quadruple nade because you also killed yourself, which I'm sure CK will be doing as well in this game. But, you know, NOA, you just want to see continued improvement. I'd say 3H wins it, of course. You know, say it's generally been about 1,000 points on average overall, so I'd just say by 1,000. You know, and then a couple of 3H's players that haven't gotten to play much this season getting to come in and have a game, so that'll be good for them. But yeah, so I look forward to seeing how that pans out. I'm going to cast that game, so I'll be able to do a full NOA game as well. It's very fun to me to watch, like, new players, like seeing how good Meep looks like with his aim and everything is very, very interesting to me. So I will be casting that game. I think it's at 9 o'clock on Sunday, and we don't play our playoff match till 10. So, but yeah, 3H will take that one. like around 1,000, 800 to 1,000 ish, and just want to see more strides from NOA. I know it's like a broken record for me with this, but you can't expect much more out of brand new players. Like, think about any of us when we first started playing DoD. What was it like? We were probably playing in pubs. I know I was playing in like 32-person fucking Con 2 pubs, prone sniping up in the Axis Loft and shit. Playing as Vasily Zaitsev at first, and then realizing everybody used that name, and then changing my name to Mr. Snipey because I was sniping and I was 12, so that seemed cool to me. But these guys are stepping straight into a competitive league in a small community where everybody knows each other so well and has played against each other millions of times. So just every bit of improvement is massive for them right now. And again, hopefully they'll stick around and continue to play out for forthcoming seasons. But yeah, 3H taking it over NOA there. And there's a couple of really fun games looking like this week. Jesus, I don't even know what I would call the match of the week here. God, I don't know. Like maybe Washed Up versus Spicy. I really want to cast a Washed Up game too, and I haven't gotten to cast them yet. Washed Up and Shut Up We're Trying. Both teams I'd really like to cast again. Do they play each other in the last week maybe? Damn, no they don't. That would have been too convenient. So No Go versus Shut Up We're Trying. I'll just get into now. Man, I wish teams all would play like at random times during the day so I could just cast like whatever the fuck I see at any given time. I feel like in past seasons I casted like so much that there was never a team I didn't get to see, but this season there is a couple of them, which is unfortunate. Just not, the timing of everything has kind of been like most teams are playing at 9 on default day. So for Shut Up We're Trying, you've got Illusion and Aim Tech on the cars and Nicholson on the third. You got Stark and Crawd most likely on the heavies, and then my boy DB on the sniper. Such a good sniper. That I maintain was a really nice pickup. I look forward to seeing how that Railroad 2 game goes with Insomnia. That's a pretty good measuring stick, seeing where you stack up with the current number 1 seed on a map that's a lot of like aim battles to have to take. But yeah, that's not this week. This week is CHEMILLE, so it's a little bit different. And on the no-go side of things, you got Deidro, you got J-Rod, Sapphire, Spoon, Apple, and Matthew has been their general starting 6. Some classes have swapped around here and there, but that's been the gist of it. No-go has had some tough losses, I know, this season. Like, you look at the kills and the stats in games, like, they're losing games where it looks like they should be winning them based on like the kills and the KD ratios and everything. It just something's just not clicking when it comes to those cap outs when all is said and done. But they have so many good players and players that have been around forever. You got like really nice glue in Matthew. I think Matthew is such a good centerpiece of a team who can play like any fucking class and do it well. You got J-Rod, who's like a balls-to-the-wall aggressive fragger. You got Spoon, who's the same thing with the heavy. And then you got like the more, passive anchor players and like Deidro and Sapphire and Apple. Like they have like a really good makeup to be able to win against anyone. It just hasn't quite come together yet. For Shut Up We're Trying, you look at that roster and it is pretty scary top to bottom. Every one of these players are very, very good and can pop off at a moment's notice. CHEMILLE Underpass is, as I said, it's a little bit of a fucking crouch walk fest. It'll be interesting to see in that game what wins out, the more like measured approach that I think Shut Up We're Trying's Underpass team would have versus, Greg and Underpass just fucking like standing, barring, and STGing you across the map. Like, you never know with this map. Like, it can go either way. Sometimes it just depends on who's having the better day. Factory is going to be a pretty fun matchup as well. You got the J-Rod and Apple and Matthew up against Illusion, Aim Tech, and DB. Or if they send, you can send 4 Factory on Access Half, certainly, or Allied side if you want to. So I guess, not necessarily going to be those 3, but I would guess it'll be Illusion, Aim Tech, and DB at very least. Maybe have the STGs play a little passive and puddle and send Nicholson over there as well, or have Nicholson go straight up to try to even the playing field against the bars and Underpass. I'm going to take Shut Up We're Trying. I've seen Illusion have some fucking crazy games on CHEMILLE where he can just lock down the map. Like, he will just not miss you, and good luck getting into Factory at all. I think that'll be a big difference maker. Obviously, J-Rod, could swing that back in the direction of No-Go with his like all-out aggressive play style. When that works, there's nothing you can do against it. So if J-Rod like goes off and has a huge game here, that could swing it back in their direction. We'll see. I think this will be a fun matchup. I think it'll be like a 65 to 70 point win for Shut Up We're Trying. But I think that added like over the top aggression that you can see out of a couple players on No-Go is something that could be an X factor in bringing it back to their side. We'll see. I would love to cast that game, but I'm guessing it'll be at the same time as other games too, or when we're playing, whatever the case may be. But yeah, Shut Up We're Trying by 65 to 70, I'm going to say. Okay, on to the next one. We've got, I already did that one, Washed Up versus Spicy Butthole. On Spicy, pretty much been the same. God, my stupid fucking, whatchamacallit, keeps dying. The face cam thing. It's really annoying. I keep noticing it. No, I don't want to watch an ad to get full features, you son of a bitch. How about that? Catch me outside. How about that? Okay, there we go. Fixed. I think it's because I needed to update it and I didn't, but whatever. That's my own fault. So, Spicy Butthole has had generally the same 6. Some weeks they have links coming in play for whoever's missing, but generally speaking, you got Laura, Stealth, Twist, Stamp, Dillard, Die Life. There's the stupid fucking ad popping off, of course. Get out of here. And on the other side of things, where are we? Washed Up, right? That was what I said. Am I stupid? Don't answer that. Yes, it was Washed Up. Duh. Where are they? There they are. So Washed Up, based on last week, it was Bromley, War Within, ProStar, Casino, Hopper, and PB. This is going to be a pretty fucking crazy game. I think you got a lot of frag power across the board here. You know, obviously, CHEMILLE isn't always a sniper's paradise, but I've seen Kevin do plenty of crazy things on this map, and Bromley has been quite good this season on the sniper rifle. You know, you take him off the 3rd rifle, and you think, like, well, you know, he's been so good on the 3rd rifle, why would you move him? But he's done just the same on the sniper. I'm not sure whether they had Hopper heavy with ProStar or if it was War Within in recent weeks. War Within played so well with the heavy in Season 2, I believe it was. He was really, really good. So I'm not sure if maybe they've swapped him back over there or if maybe they'll have Bullet play this week or what. But the underpass battle will be, I think, like very, very close. You know, what if on either side, if one of those heavies can just have a big, big game, especially on Axis side, if you can find a way to have those bars push back and having a retake underpass, it can be tough. And there's a lot of spots you can sit in to lock underpass down and hold some crazy angles over there. But, you know, I think that's going to be kind of the big thing in underpass. On factory, it's just so much frag power between Matt and Dillard and Stealth and Laura and Bromley, Casino Royale, PB, and then like whether it's War Within or it's Hopper. Or it's even like a Reptar or a Secretly getting in there. I think things can get crazy over there. I have no idea. I mean, you know PB is going to have 70 kills again. It's been like clockwork. I'd like to actually check that stat real quick, because I think he has averaged about 70 kills per match. Yep, I fucking knew it. I said it. 70 kills per match on the dot. Look at that. It's crazy. 70 fucking kill average. You do not see that all that often. Sean is right there too at 69.8. My God. So yeah, it's not just you if you think like these guys seem like they get a fuckload of kills all the time. No, they do. Like a fuckload. Man, what the fuck? Ugh. I don't know. This is one where it's like it's another one that's kind of to me like a coin flip. There's been a couple of those matchups this season where it was like it really could go either way if one player has like a slightly better game on either team. Ay. I'm just doing some math and how I think everything plays out. Let me look at the standings too. Who's got a lot to play for here? Wow, they're both right there. 3 wins on Washed Up, 4 wins on Spicy. Winner of this probably gets that seed. Although, I mean, there's still another week after that, but that would make a big difference, whoever wins this having the tiebreaker over the other. I kind of wish I could look back at previous seasons and see how these rosters have done on this map. I'm gonna go with washed up by 3 points. Yeah, I'm gonna go with washed up by 3 points. I think that underpass will be super back and forth. I think that factory is going to be an absolute fucking just insane. I think factory will be a lot of kills going off and a lot of movie clips. Life and Dillard, of course, are both going to be having ridiculous games. They always do. PB and whoever the other car ends up being are going to have to compete with that. I just feel like after that tough, to me in this game, like those tough close losses seem to, certainly during KTP, every time we've seen a team have one of those really heartbreaking losses, it ends up making them better as a team overall. They're character builders. We saw it with Icy out. We've seen it with Saab this season. 3H after having that tough loss last week, immediately coming out. Like it makes you want to close those holes. And you kind of take a closer look at the team all around. I'm going to take washed up here, but this is, I mean, I literally could have just flipped a coin to figure that out. You could just see Life and Dillard and Stealth, like, just go absolutely bonkers, batshit, and just be, like, acing the factory teams over and over again, taking turns and running train everywhere. Or you could see PB go off for 85 kills and do the same thing in the other direction. I honestly have no idea. Like, gun to my head, I don't know who I would pick. I'm going to go with washed up by 3 points, but this is not a confident pick in any way, shape, or form. And because I just picked washed up, that means Spicy is probably going to win by like 97. But I'm sticking to the washed up prediction because the coin flip I did in my head worked out that way. That's going to be a fucking tight one, I think, though. And the last one, this is another fun one, too. Romario versus Saab. I'm guessing this one will be in the afternoon, which is nice. That means I could potentially cast it if no one else wants to. So, for Saab, you've got Scotty, Manor, Toki, Yanni, Nightmare, King Yo. You got Caleb there whenever someone's missing. And then on the other side of things, where is Romario at? There they are. You've seen a little bit of back and forth with the lineups here, but Lobaton, Vanna, Key, Matt, LZL, Mand, and Rafinha has generally been their 6. Sometimes, you see Burn-In on rail maps. Sometimes, I'm guessing that'll be the main 6, though. Just generally speaking, I think that'll be who the 6 is. It's CHEMILLE, which is interesting. Both these teams play really, really well together in smart manner. I've seen have quite a few really good games on CHEMILLE. I think this is another one of those maps that he really excels at. I'm not sure, is Nightmare going to be back to heavying? Is he going to be sniping? Obviously on CHEMILLE, it's not like a big sniper map. In fact, most of the time when you're sniping on CHEMILLE, you're getting into these like close to mid-range battles where you're kind of like, certainly for me, I just don't even bother scoping because I'm more likely to miss a close-range sniper shot with a scope because, of course, that's how the game does me. But I will be curious to see how it works out class-wise. Oh, no, that's okay. I think in this case, like, it's almost more beneficial to have Nightmare on a heavy anyways. It's like, arguably, you could say he's your best player, like, no matter what class he's using. Doesn't have to be sniping to be Saab's best player. He is a ridiculously good player with everything. I would say it probably makes more sense to have him with a gun that he can, like, run around with and throw nades and stuff. But, a factory team of Scotty and Toki and Yanni, and then maybe King Yo, depending on if they send 4 there, if they want to send a Stas Underpass or send a Stas Factory. I could see Yanni even like carring Underpass. He's been pretty good at carring, not the usual routes, like going train on the rails maps. But then on the other side, like, you got Vanaki and Rafinha have been just gods, like half in and half out. Every half these guys are performing. Certainly the team ticks by those performances, and they have been rock solid at all times. On a map that involves a lot of communication and quick rotation and teamwork and trying to, in some cases, pull off ninja caps and stuff. But Saab has looked very, very good lately. Man, I think this one will be pretty close to. I don't know. You look at Rafinha. I'm assuming Vanaki will be back to heavying this week. Or Stas barring. I mean, he kind of switches off and on whether he's gonna actually heavy on axis. So like they might be able to have those guys split up to kind of try to lock down each route. You could easily see a factory team of Scotty and JN and Toki like be able to hang over there and lock out Rafinha and Mand and LZL. But man, I don't know. This is another really tough one to call. Underpass. I feel like with how strong Manor is on this map, and assuming that Nightmare's gonna heavy, I think I would favor Saab a little bit more in Underpass, and then if you got King Yo over there as well, to chuck some of those grenades, take some long range battles against the bars and stuff on Axis side. Oh man, it's like I don't want to ever pick against Romario. It's tough for me. I think I could see Saab with the upset win this week. I feel like I shouldn't be allowed to pick against Romario because like deep down I always think they're gonna win. That's my boys. I love Romario. We all know this. But I could see Saab coming out with another win this week. And then you look at Saab and it's like they had a couple really fucking tight games to start off the season. Like what was the one here? The no-go Saab game when Saab was playing like 4-on-6 for a minute there. This one, the 3H game on Thunder, was another heartbreaker. A CK Ninja Cap was the only reason that 3H got that game. Then they beat NOA. They beat Shut Up We're Trying in a close game. As I said, these close losses seem to then, build you up more as a team later on. And they had the bye week. I'm going to go with Saab to take this one and propel themselves up into that 4-win echelon that a bunch of teams are at right now. Man, I really hate picking against Romario. There's a lot on the line, too. Like, that fact alone could be enough that Romario just comes out flying. They always rise to the occasion, this team. They understand the big moments, and they perform in them. So that could be, the difference maker right there. And Romario just comes out, and they go to town, and they win. They get to the 5-win mark, and then the pressure's on Insomnia to not lose. Very possible. But I'm going to go with Sao. I like the way that they've been playing all season. They've had some bad luck in a couple games. I like their heavy team in this game a lot. I've seen Manor have some really, really good games on CHEMILLE. Like, really good games. Heavying CHEMILLE is tough, taken from me. Like, some of the first, main and invite matches I had to play was CHEMILLE. It's not an easy job under any circumstances, and I think that could be the big difference maker. I think the factory team, you favor Romario a little bit more, like Rafinha, and then if Vanaki's over there, but Scotty has had a really good season too, man. Like, he is a good player. You watch him play, his aim is good. His strafing is really nice. Like, that's something that a lot of people, I don't think, pay attention to. Like, how good is this guy's strafe? Like, Sean Ality is another guy that has a really nice strafe, always has. And Scotty's got one of the better ones there is. So, I'm going to go with Saab. But I fully acknowledge the fact that Romario rise to the occasion in these big moments when there's a lot on the line, and I think that they will be ready for this week. And if they are, they could just come out flying and make this one tough for Saab right off the bat. But, lineup dependent too. Like, does Saab have Nightmare sniping? Does Saab have the starting 6, etc., etc.? But I'm going to go with Saab for the upset this week. And if Romario wins, that makes things very, very interesting at the top of Silver. I still got Romario as my dark horse to win it all, though. These boys always come through in the playoffs, I'm telling you. I'm telling you. It hurts to pick against them, I gotta tell you, though. I don't like to pick against Romario. I think Saab's got a lot of momentum right now, though. Okay. I believe that was it in Silver. They still got another week of the regular season after this. Now we got to get into the playoffs. Playoffs? Where's the little challenge sheet? No. I don't know where it is. I believe there's only 2 games this week anyways. It would be give me the standings page. It would be us versus Chill Pill and Over versus Clinic. So here's the thing. I have no idea what the situation is for the Over Clinic game. I haven't seen anything about it at all. Let me see if anything has come up while I was recording this. I don't... No. No. Saab versus Romario. Because of the daylight savings time. 4 Eastern. Okay, 4 Eastern on the 29th for that game. Nice. Oh, okay. Thank you. There it is. There's the challenge. Beautiful. Thank you to my producer, Jane. So yeah, no word yet on when the Clinic Over game is going to be played yet. Obviously, Over has a regular season game that they still haven't played. So I'm not sure if they're just trying to figure out scheduling to get everybody on and stuff. No clue what the veto went. I can speculate on it and try to predict how the veto would go. We know how the Thunder Chill Pills situation went already. So let's just start off with that, I guess. As you can see here, Thunder Chill Pill 3 versus 6. Just to get into the rosters. I know Chill Pill, where'd they go? Yeah, so, like, generally speaking, Arachnid, Chi, Booten, Gall, Teemo, and then I don't know if Baron is playing anymore. If Baron's playing, it'll be Baron, but you got Kaboom on the roster now, so that might... I mean, I think that actually, if you play Chris, and you put him on the heavy with Chi, and you put Booten on a rifle, like, that makes them even scarier, potentially. You know, I mean, Brandon is a good heavy, but, like, he is a rifle, and he can just stuff it down your throat with a rifle all the time, and Chris is a really good heavy, too. Whether he's playing a lot or not, he's somebody you have to fucking deal with. I'm not sure what the situation is for them, if it will be one of those two lineups, if Baron is playing, if it'll be Kaboom, if Kaboom will heavy, or if Brandon will stay heavying, if Chi might rifle instead, I don't know. The last time we played them, they had a couple ringers, and I think the time before that, they had a ringer as well. So, not totally sure. And for Thunder, for this matchup, it will be Tox, me, Jules, Dorito, Ryan, and Grant. It's Railroad 2, so it's the same lineup as last week, the same everything. So as you can see, oh, you can't see because I didn't switch the window, but the way the veto went, Thunder ironically dropped Thunder. Chill Pill dropped Anzio. We just played each other on that in the last week of the season. Thunder drops Armory. We played them earlier in the season. It was a fucking last-second cap-out win for us. It was very scary. Chill Pill drops Lennon. You know, Jules and Ryan on the heavy. No one wants to have to deal with that. In Lennon Apartments, Thunder drops Harrington. You know, it's Harrington. We have some bad memories of best of ones on Harrington, let me tell you. And then it came down to Rail Yard versus Railroad 2, and Chill Pill picks Railroad 2. You know, it was going to be a rail map either way. So everything kind of was, like, at that point decided for the most part because it was 2 railroad maps. I mean, hey, we had a very, very close match with them on Armory. You know, Railroad 2 is another map that is very similar in pace of play and structure. You know, you got the big mid cap, and then you've got like the sort of heavy-centric route where you also send like a rifle at times and a lot of nades coming into a small area. There's just no like train car in the situation. It's a giant fucking bridge. But yeah, like this, I think this could be a very, very interesting game here. Railroad 2 sniper matchup of me and Arachnid. That'll be fun. You know, Apartments team of Ryan and Jules against Kaboom and Chi, or Booten and Chi, or Booten and Kaboom. You know, Dorito been playing so well all season long, really, because he missed the first week or two and then came back on Thunder, I think, and top fragged. And it's just been strong all season, consistently. And then, of course, Tox is Tox, the number 2 player in the stats. You know, that the rifle tandem here of Teemo and Gall and maybe Booten or maybe Baron versus Tox, Dorito, and Grant. Yeah, I mean, like, this is, it's going to be interesting on Railroad 2. obviously we would have rather played him on Anzio since we just did, but that was gone immediately. So, yeah, good luck, have fun to Chill Pill. Again, no clue what their lineup is going to be. Some version of those two lineups taken together, though. I think this will be a fun game for people to watch, and I expect it'll be similar to the Armory game where my asshole is clenched the entire time, because of course. And the other game we've got here, so... Over versus Clinic, the 4 and 5 seeds. We don't know anything about the veto here at all. I know nothing. Do we have any sort of a map list? Just so I can look at it for reference sake. Doesn't look like it. Give me the KTP Season 4. KTP info. Rules. Give me the map list for playoffs. Come on, homie. Standings, is it here? Oh, that's where the chat lounge was, too. I'm an idiot. KTP 3, Season 3... Okay, Season 4 pick band maps. Anzio, Armory, Harrington, Lennon, Railroad 2, Rail Yard, Thunder. So there's 7 of them. Over, I believe... Oh, we can tell right here. Top seeded team bans 1. Lower seeded team bans 2. Last seeded team... Oh, wait, no. Top seeded team ban 1. Last seeded team... pick side for the last map left. Lower seeded. I'm very confused by that. Based on how the ban went, let me see. Who banned Thunder? Dropped Thunder. And then it came down. We dropped Harrington. There was 2 maps left. Ban 5. Ban 6. Last map is left. Lower seeded team picks side. So technically in this case, the 5 seed would basically get to pick the map in the end and then get to pick their side. Is that right? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's what it's supposed to be or if I'm misreading something. Drop Thunder, drop Anzio, drop the Armory, drop Lennon, drop Harrington. Pick Railroad 2 because there was 2 maps left, so they got to drop last to pick it. And then they get to pick the side too, I guess. I don't know. That's what it says here. I'm not sure. It is full speculation. If I try to predict the veto, we'll see. For Clinic, Tom, and, well, generally speaking, it's been Tom and Vic on the heavies, but Vic didn't play last week. I'm not sure if he's, if that's continuing on or if he'll be back, or if Alan's going to play, or if Element's going to play. We shall see. Of course, Sam on the 3rd rifle. He had quite a few clips against us in that Railroad 2 game with the Tommy and the Unter. He killed me a lot across the entire map. Suave and Insam on the main rifles. And then I guess, you don't know if Element's going to play or not. If Element can get in there, that's, makes the team even stronger, of course. And then on the over side of things, Kumkum, Mata, Saka, Caffrey, Anna, Till. They also have 50 who's gotten in there to play a few times. Really, really good rifle. Riley Staffer's on the roster. Not sure if he's going to get to play at all, but we'll see. So, yeah. Man, I can try all I want to speculate on this veto. I'm just going to end up offending somebody by trying to predict a veto from scratch. But I was thinking about doing like a full playoff prediction this time. I'm not going to do it. I'll wait till next week when we actually know what the semifinals matchups are going to be. I already kind of did make my prediction that NSA was going to play Icy out in the finals. So you kind of know what I'm thinking already. But, all right. So, over would get first ban, right? Yes, Over will get first ban. They're not banning Lennon, but I'm thinking Clinical ban Lennon. Over might ban Railroad 2 or Rail Yard. Let's just say they'll ban one of those. Clinic, I assume will ban Lennon because Over is very good on Lennon. Over might just go ahead and ban Thunder, but they looked really good on Thunder, and with, like Till and stuff, I think that they can excel on Thunder. So I don't know if they would ban that. I don't think they would ban Anzio. They might ban Harrington. So let's just say, it goes Railroad 2 ban, Lennon ban, Harrington ban. Does Clinic ban Thunder? They were a really good Thunder team in the past. Maybe they ban... I'm going to say they're going to ban Rail Yard and leave it down to Thunder and Anzio. And then I'm going to say it ends up on... Does it end up on Thunder? Maybe. Here, the thing is, like, Clinic was really good on Thunder, like, when they were playing the game regularly. I don't know if they liked Thunder necessarily, or if they just happened to be good on it, like, as a team. So, like, I don't know if they would necessarily pick Thunder. This is my imaginary pick ban scenario. I'm assuming Lennon definitely gets banned by Clinic first. I'm going to guess that Over bans one of the railroads just because historically, I know they don't like love playing the railroad maps. They're not big maps in the European scene and never really have been. I'm guessing the Harrington ban for Over just because they lost to us on it, but they might want to play Harrington in this case, to be honest. Like, that's I don't know. I have 0% certainty that they would ban Harrington next there. I would think they would leave Anzio up, and I would think they would leave Thunder up. So it might come down to like a Rail Yard versus a Thunder, or a Rail Yard versus an Anzio, or a Thunder versus an Anzio for the final 2 maps. I mean, on a map like Thunder, anything can happen. Over looked really, really good on Thunder, though. Like, I don't think it's a normal matchup. When there's just like any 2 teams, like, yeah, something can on Thunder, you can get a ninja cap, and then the map can be held from there, and you win. But this is a little bit different based on how Over played on Thunder. They looked really, really good on it. Who do they play on that map? Was it Clinic themselves? Chill Pill. Okay. For a second, I was like, oh, that might have been Clinic, so that might be more information. Over played Clinic. Oh, yeah, so Clinic is definitely banning Lennon. They played each other on it, so that's definitely the ban for the first ban they're going to do. I mean, I'm going to take Over, assuming that this veto goes generally the way that I just said it might go, like down to a Rail Yard or a Railroad 2 and a Thunder, or a Thunder and an Anzio, or a Railroad and an Anzio. I'm guessing it'll end up on Anzio, though, overall. And, Over has some really, really strong Anzio players on it. Good grasp of how to play it. Carpenter and Insam and Sam are all ridiculous at Anzio. Clinic beat us on Anzio, too. So I'm taking Over, but you got to remember, like, it's Clinic still. These guys understand the game and how one another play very well. And when they are on, like, aim-wise, good luck. Suave and Insam and Carp and Vic, like, any of these guys having a good day in that game can turn things back around in the other direction. But, on the Over side of things, Sokka has had such a good season. Kum has always been such a good rifle. Caffrey, I rave about Caffrey all the time. And then whether it's Till is the other heavy, or if he's sniping and Mod is the other heavy, whether Anna's playing on the 3rd or 50. I think that they have a nice mix of play styles. They have a lot of experience, a lot of frag power. I think that they will be able to pull it out against Clinic this week, but I do think that Clinic will make it sketchy for Over. I think that Clinic will come out. Carpenter's just so good. I mean, I don't. Let me see the stats. I'm pretty sure Carpenter this season, even with him not playing all that much, still had a 1.1 KD ratio. Just so good. There's a lot of talent on that Clinic roster, and they're just like not active. They're playing CS and probably other games too, Valorant. That's really the big difference with Clinic right now. Just they're not putting in the hours. If they were, then it's a different story where we can get talking about like, hey, this could happen, this could happen. I just think, Over, they all play semi-regularly still. Not all of them, but most of them, getting some hours every once in a while to stay sharp. They're all such good players, and I think that they'll just be a little too much when all is said and done, assuming like a Thunder or an Anzio ending up as the map chosen. Yeah. I'm going to go with Over in that game, so then that would send it to Over playing against NSA in the semis, which would be another interesting matchup for numerous reasons in that case, but we'll deal with that when the time comes. That will do it for this week's episode. Oh, look at that. My face cam went down again. Oh my god. It just never stops pissing me off. Failed to connect. Well, isn't that special? It doesn't say it's down on my phone, but it says it's down on my computer. I don't know. It's always fucking something when I'm... Like, I just can't help but have a technical issue. I just can't help it. Why want to connect now? What's the issue now? Let me see here. Video capture device. IV cam. I think I might have just broke the video capture device again. This happened once during season 1 or 2. Enter the IP address of your phone. How the fuck would I know what that is? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyways, I'm just going to cut it off there because I ain't fixing this right now. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I'll get to cast a couple games this week. As I pointed out, quite a few teams that I wanted to get to watch play. Good luck to everybody in the playoffs in gold. Good luck, have fun, chill pill this weekend. We'll see you guys at 10 o'clock Sunday. Definitely going to be casting the 3H match at 9 o'clock on Sunday night. Probably going to do the Saab game as well versus Romario at 4 Eastern Sunday. And then after that, we'll see where everything lines up. Thank you guys. KTP. Love y'all. GLHF. Peace out. If you could see my face right now, you'd know I'm very, very disappointed in my face cam and Streamlabs as a whole.